For this last video, we're going to discuss, just at an introductory level, what types of qualitative research data analysis tools are out there. And I want to start off though by saying before you start any data collection, you want to often know how you're going to analyze your data, and most importantly, you shouldn't do any of your data collection until the ethical considerations are in place. And you can imagine there's a variety of ethical dilemmas that could exist. I mean, the idea of studying a population and watching them or asking them about their cultural practices could be a bit invasive to them from looking at how an outsider might view a community. There are all kinds of other ethical dilemmas you could imagine. So Institutional Review Board or IRB approval would be essential. And we're going to cover IRBs and ethics more in the future. And we often need to check ourselves and just remember that we should be sensitive to the privacy of the participants. And some of this relates back to here. An Institutional Review Board would probably not allow you to do research that's not sensitive to the privacy of the participants. Now, we don't have the time to cover all the different approaches which data are able to be collected using these designs, but kind of give you the big overview though of some places that you can get qualitative data beyond, our traditional approaches you may have thought of in your head in the first few videos for this section. So journals or diaries, and you may actually encourage participants to do food diaries to document what they've been eating over a period of time, or to document their behaviors throughout the day. You may even incentivize them. There might be money involved for documenting these things. I'm familiar with agricultural injury work where 4-H group participants were told to document their activities on the farm. Public records can also be used. So if you're studying different groups that may have meetings and their minutes are recorded over time, those could be used. Newspapers and magazines can be used for gathering information. Studying advertisements. The tobacco industry had a lot of ads, and back in the day, tobacco researchers would study what was in those advertisements. And that's not just for tobacco. Somebody could do a whole qualitative study on vaping advertisements. Archive documents, other types of archive documents that might be out there. Maybe interacting with the study participants regarding their communications. There are a whole trove of tweets that are out there for various persons where it's all in the public domain, and mining people's social media. Mining social media of various organizations or support groups or groups of like-minded persons can provide qualitative research opportunities. Archives of letters or emails, all those things are qualitative research data troves. Now, some people might do traditional kind of qualitative research where they may do audio recordings, or you could actually study historical audio recordings or video recordings. Studying historical photographs, you could study mask wearing behavior in 1918 and compare it to today by looking at the old photographs, acknowledging the biases of our photographs that aren't socially desirable. They may have had the same issues back then where non-mask folks wanted to be out of photos. But regardless, there's information you can learn from photographs. How many people were smoking cigarettes, or how many people were vaping in the picture? How many people were wearing, PPE or whatever it might be? People can also study clothing. So there's a variety of different ways we can study public health phenomena using those qualitative data sources. And there are different tools that are out there, and some of them are free, some of them cost money. I think Max QDA is free, but there's a variety of tools that are out there, and some of them will create these I'm trying to think of the exact name of these word clouds. There you go. These are word clouds. Some of them will create word clouds, and they weight the size of the word based upon how frequently it comes up in a response. All right, so those are called word clouds. And they have other tools that are available that help people be able to organize their responses. And there are even tools that are out there that can take quotations that are brought into them, and it can search the quotations and they can be coded to find certain words. So those are data analysis tools that are out there. If you want to see the methods section of the Pruno paper, the title of it, you've got a qualitative inquiry about Pruno. And in the data analysis section, they transcribed interviews. So they typed this stuff in through brute force into Microsoft Word and then entered them into Atlas, which is a scientific software developed by this company to facilitate text searching, data coding, and analysis. And then they did thematic data analysis with inductive open coding, in which 4 team members coded 6 transcripts to develop a code book. So if you choose to do this type of analysis, it's important to know, just like quantitative research can be time intensive, qualitative research can also be very time intensive. Qualitative research per person responding is even more time intensive. So if you choose to go down this route with regards to gaining oral history information or doing oral interviews or audio interviews, you want to make sure that you'd have the time dedicated to do them. So that's just a little bit on the different approaches. There are faculty at the university in the public health program and other disciplines that might be able to help you out more should you choose to want to use a qualitative approach for carrying out some sort of research endeavor. If you have any questions, you can contact me at jason.marion@eku.edu or by phone. And that concludes our videos on qualitative data analysis and qualitative inquiry.